Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. I do want to go ahead and start off today with the earthquake/tsunami that happened in Virginia earlier this week. Joining me to talk about that is Philip Van Cleave from the Virginia Citizens Defense League. Philip, welcome and congratulations.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, it's a bright sunny day in Virginia.
Yeah, it's actually a bright sunny day all over the country if you believe in individual rights, and especially the Second Amendment. And, you know, the media has been talking about the massive win. I mean, holy cow. You got Glenn Youngkin, you've got Winsome as lieutenant governor. You had this sweep across, which basically was not so much, and I was going to ask you, is this as much of a sweep, or is it more of a rejection of what happened before?
Well, I think a lot of it is rejection. Of people saying we're going the wrong direction. We absolutely can't bring this crew back on, or the crew to replace them. We're going the wrong way. We're heading towards the rocks. Mm-hmm. And so this was people. Now, some of them, it depends. Glenn Youngkin did not fill out the VCDL survey or the NRA survey or any survey. So that kind of left us in a lurch because, our PAC doesn't do endorsements without a survey. So on the other hand, we had McAuliffe for governor before. We knew what he stood for, although he was real quiet on guns a couple months. 2 months out, all of a sudden, whoosh, quiet, we don't want to talk about guns. We want those gun people to sleep. Well, we weren't sleeping. We were there at the polls to say adios.
I wonder, would it be fair to say that Youngkin was probably just being pretty clever, pretty smart, and saying, look, I think I'm okay with gun owners without ticking everybody off and standing up and becoming a target, if you will. Everybody knows where McAuliffe is, that he's not good on guns. And so given that, it may be smarter for the across-the-board appeal to just lay low on the issue. What do you think?
Well, first of all, that didn't work for people before him. We had a couple other Republicans that tried that same strategy and got their rear ends kicked. Gun owners didn't show up. Gun owners said, to heck with you. But I was telling people early on this one, I said he's probably going to be able to get away with this because McAuliffe is so bad that gun owners are going to show up and vote for Youngkin, even though he didn't do any surveys, because McAuliffe is a known entity. He's horrible. The whole country right now is heading in the wrong direction. And I was right about that. That people did turn out. When I talked to him, they said, yeah, I'm going to vote. I talked to his campaign and said, he needs to do the survey. I said, look, it's a difference between, okay, I'm going to vote for the guy that's better than the other guy. Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, wow, did you see this guy's survey? Man, he really understands constitutional carry. Man, I can't wait to vote for him. I'm going to get my family out there. There's an excitement factor when you know what you're dealing with, as opposed to he's better than the other guy. Does that make sense?
Sure, it does. And it occurs to me we might want to remind people, I'll let you pick up the ball on this one, of what happened over the last couple of years with the infusion of Bloomberg money, who basically overtook the entire state, and what the legislature did and attempted to do.
Yeah, Michael Bloomberg poured a lot of money in and basically bought a bunch of seats, in essence, and got the governor, lieutenant governor, and all that. So they passed, that was when they got control. The first year was 2020. That's when we had 50,000 people show up at a gun rally in Richmond to say, oh, no. Now, that rally paid off. Yeah, they passed like 5 gun control bills, but every one of them was scaled back dramatically from what they wanted because they saw those crowds and were frightened. But they had to pay back Bloomberg, so they went ahead and crammed some gun control through without all on a partisan vote for everything. And they did that the first year. This year, they did a few things, but they were very minor. Again, they were trying to keep their head down in an election year, but it didn't help them. And boy, I tell you what, the first thing on our agenda is to repeal some of that stuff. They let localities now pass local gun control. That's horrible.
Yeah, they got rid of the preemption law, which, like you say, now the law changes as you cross a county line, and you have no idea that you're out into a new area where you were legal 10 seconds before, and now you're illegal where you are now.
Exactly. That's on the top of our list to reverse that baby. There could be another election next year. They're doing redistricting. It's a big mess right now in Virginia. So there could be another election next year for the House again, and so forth. So, but we're going to be pushing the Republicans. We want them to do for us what the Democrats did for Bloomberg, which was push all of that gun control. Well, we need to reverse all of that and do that for gun owners in Virginia. Show us, the Republican Party can show us where they really stand with this.
Well,
and get this reversed.
And you know the drill. You've been around this thing long enough where Republicans tend to take gun owners for granted, like we don't really have to do anything for them anyway. Where are they going to go? And that's when you really have to start saying, okay, we will, in fact, turn up the pressure. We will actually primary you. We will try to defeat you even though you're a Republican. We don't care, because if you're not with us, then I don't care if it's a D or an R next to your name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What's next to your name? It should be E for enemy.
Okay, so what does Virginia Citizens Defense League do now? It's like, holy cow, we just had our celebration party. We won this thing, and it's a new landscape for you. Where do you go now?
Well, we begin to get ready to get people to line up to put bills in January, and they can actually pre-file them. So we need to find some of the heavy hitters for the big bills and some of the new people. We got a couple of people chomping at the bit, new people, saying, "Oh yeah, boy, give me what you got. I'll put in gun rights stuff for you all day long." So, but we tend to not want to give them really heavy lifting. They're new; they've got a lot to learn. So we'll give them a lighter job, and I think some of the tougher bills will start in the Senate because there we need to flip one Democrat. That's it. If one Democrat out of four that do go with us occasionally on guns, if we can get one of them to agree and go with us, that's all we need. And then it's out of the Senate. And by God, if it lands in the House with a Republican majority and they don't pass that, there's going to be smoke coming out of my ears. And then it goes to Youngkin's desk, and then we'll see what he does.
One other question for you. There's something that's changed over the last few years. And I'm thinking about a lot of us, particularly if you are in your middle age or older, you're used to there being an election day. So you think about election day. When is election day? And now there's not an election day. There's like an election month. And I think the Democrats have generally been a little better at getting their people out throughout the whole period of time. And I think a lot of us have kind of just keep thinking election day, and we either hit or don't hit that. I just was wondering if you had any thoughts about how do we re-educate our folks to the idea of early voting and taking advantage of it, and that gives you this bigger window to get all your friends and fellow supporters out there.
That's one thing we've been pushing hard on, Tom. I said, the other side wants this stuff. Let's cram it down their throats. We can take advantage of it more than they can because gun owners, they have election day. You're right. Well, election day could be cold and rainy or snowy. It could be, could be, you have to work that day. Getting everybody together to go down and vote at the same time could be tough. We were telling our members, look, let's take advantage of this. You could go any day, Monday through Friday, and right before the election, you could have gone on a Saturday. Any of those days, you can go from 9 to 5. And you can bring your friends, you can go have lunch, take off work for a little bit, and go vote as a group. Let's do it early. Get it over with. Relax. That way, number one, nobody can steal your vote. Because that happened to people where they showed up, like last year, and they said, well, sorry, we show you've already voted. So vote early, protect your vote. And at the same time, that vote is in there. You're done with it. My wife and I voted weeks ago.
There you go. Philip Van Cleave, VCDL, Virginia Citizens Defense League. On the web, it's vcdl.org. Philip, thank you for everything you do. I mean, you are a champion of the Second Amendment, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tom. As I've often said, you're my hero. You kept me sane during the years when we had the gun ban, the assault weapon ban, and all that. The Clintons. Really, I was going nuts, and you were sanity on the radio, and it was wonderful.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's good work out there. Thank you.